So, myself, Ivan Raman, I am a full stack developer at Netlify. So, I am sharing this screen for the assignment of Frontlines education. So, I built the front end and back end for the assignment of a company listing, where we list the company and use the filtration and pagination here. And also I have also built the backend for APIs. So I am showing the screen. So here is the list of the companies. So we can log out and going to the dashboard and log in also. So I am going to the dashboard. So here is the dashboard. So this is the overview of all the companies, employees, active project, etc. It is a dummy data, and now in the company here we create a company like name of the company, location, industry type, and employee, number of employees, year of establishment, and company website. So the post call is going and then get call is here. So there is the filtration of industry like healthcare, and there is the filtration of location based like Hyderabad, and it will be called as a Hyderabad. And there is the filtration of searching like company name, hashtag, Flipkart, and along with the company size like 1 to 10 employees, 11 to 15 employees. There is two companies, and there is the oldest name, sorting like latest establishment, most employees, etc. So it is the dashboard where we can log in and then log out. And if we use the sign up like test user, so there is the check of the 6-digit length of the password, and then we sign up, and then we log in here. A wrong email, I think. Okay, I remember with the new user. Double five. We successfully log in. And when we log out, then when we log in here, just user1 @gmail.com, password, enter the password. And then when we come to the page, it will be using the redux to showing the user details here. And so here also the filtration and searching and sorting here. So now we going to the code how it works. So there is the two folders like front end and back end. In the front end we use the white and for the styling I use the Tailwind CSS, and for the component library use the shadcn. So here is the components of the alert, avatar, button, card, dialog. This is the components of the shadcns, and there is the main.jsx. So there I use the redux for the store management. So there is the provider of the store, and there is the app, and it will be goes to the app, and there is the routing setting with like home, sign up, login, and dashboard layout. And if there is no page, it will be not found page. And when the user, if the user is already logged in, and one if he refresh the page, then it will be going to the call the get user detail and then set to the redux. So here is the views for the front end pages, and there is the service with the API calling. For the redux there is the slice stores, and there is the layout for the dashboard layout like sidebar and the dashboard company etc. There is the configuration for the APIs which we hitting from the service like company service. It will be called that is request, and then will pass the URL method data secure. If the secure is true, then it will be going as with the bearer token, and if it not, then it will be without going with the token. And if we use the files too, then it will be the as a request as a multi-part form data multi-part. And there is the URLs if we use the base URLs and many things, and there is the component, and there is the assets things. I think it is be done in front end. So in the dashboard we list the company here like this is the get call for the companies. So hitting with the company service with the get companies with the payload of the industry filter and page limit, and because we use the pagination and searching sorting, so we use the payload, and it will be configured with the get call with as a params. So and I think it is done. There is the auth service and auth slice. So in the slice there is two methods, two reducers, login and logout. So in the login it will be send the store as a user detail and is authenticated and configure all the data here. So there is the backend which is used in the Express.js and for the database of MongoDB. So here package.json we can see the dependencies like decrypt.js, body parser, cloudinary, cookie parser, .env, express, JSON, mongoose, multer. So for the API documentation use the Swagger. Okay, so for the hosting we use the Vercel. So first we go to the index.js. Here is the configuration with the first we import the express and then .env calls body parser, and we use the Swagger middleware, so it is configured as a middleware, and there is the .env config, so it will loads the env file, and then there is the route imports then DB connection, and there is the env for the port and Mongo URL. Then we connect the database of the DB connection, and it will be in the config folder like db.config, and there is the connection for the passing the URL, and then it connect with the MongoDB and return the connections. And after then we use the middleware as a body parser and cookie parser to pass the payload and data API data. So there is the course. So I use the star because I want to allow all the origins. So there is the method here, and there is a Swagger setup, and check the out with the health, and there is the API main routes, and it will be called as a main routing, and the app is listening with the port with the, if the env is not on, then it will be run as a 5000. So I am going to the main routes, where health APIs, auth companies, and in auth APIs this is the folder of the routes where all the routes are written here, and the main routes which is configured the all other files here. So there is the main routes and the auth folder, register, login, and user details. And for the company routes there is the create company, get all companies, get companies by ID. Then there is a model for the company model, which is the detail like name, location, industry, employees count, website, established year is deleted. And there is the user model like user ID, username, email, password, role is deleted. Okay, and then there is the middleware. When we use the auth middleware, multi middleware or swagger middleware. Auth middleware is for the get token and verify the token functions here, and there is the multi middleware which is used for the file uploading. So it is not using now, but it will be used if the project will expand. So for the swagger middleware, we use the API documentation like /API docs. So I am showing like now in the local http localhost 8000 API docs. So it is, you hit the API and showing with the API docs. Okay, yeah. And there is the controller for the company where the create company and get all companies, get companies by IDs and other things. In the user controller for the login and register. So in the login we use the email or password from the body, and then we check is the email or not. Email is not, then we send the bad request, and if not password, then send the bad request. If password and email is found, then we find one with the email, and if the user is not found, then we hash the password, and then we because the password is hashed, and we compare with the user password and hashed password. After that, then we create get a token which is using the auth middleware, and after we send the token and user. And then in the register controller we text the username, email, password and role, and then we check the email, password, role are here or not. Then we use then we find the existing user like for the email, and if existing, then send like user already exists, and then hash the password and set to the model and save it. Yeah, for the get user detail we use the user ID, and after that user ID we find the user in the model, we find with the user ID. Yeah, there is the constant folder, there is the cloudinary config which we use in the for file uploading. Okay, and in the service there is for the email service. When we log in or register, yeah, anything, we use the node mailer for the emails, and we used for the random generator and date formatter. So in the random generator I use for the user ID, generate user ID. Okay, I think, yeah, it is we. Yeah, for the deployment I use the Vercel. So I'm showing. Yeah, here is the for the Frontlines Media, which is the API of Frontlines assignment, and yeah, so we can show the deployments here and logs, what is the API is hitting and all. And after that there is the front end. So I have configured with the Frontlines with the subdomain with me, like, yeah, Frontlines in. So we can see here, and then login. Thanks.